Hey, Nick Fundytus here from Royal LePage. This is Nick Answers Reddit for the week ending the 25th of January 2024. And here we go. So today's question it's an interesting one because it's one that anybody who's owned a house and looked at moving another house, they've at least kind of if you've moved, you've probably thought about it at one point. And the question is, should I sell my house? So, as the title says, the Redditor here, this is Throwaway 919, says I need some guidance on what to do with my properties. So I'm guessing here by the rest of his description, says bought his first house in 2015 for 285K. This is in a small town in BC that's close to ski resorts. So there's 155,000 left on the mortgage at 1.95% with 1 year, 7 months left on the term, 14 years, 2 months remaining amortization. So, really good interest rate, first off. My partner and I bought a second property last year as we had a baby and needed an upgrade. There's 438,000 left on the mortgage at 3.85%, so still a pretty good rate, with 3 years, 7 months left on the term, 20 years, 8 months remaining amortization. So, in that mortgage for longer, but still not a bad mortgage rate right now. First property is $580 biweekly mortgage. So $520 per month strata fees. If you're not in BC, you would call those condo fees. Total comes to $1,680 a month for carrying costs. Not counting maintenance and things like that, but they rent it, and probably property tax, but they rent it out for $2,500. So profiting roughly $820 a month. Second property is $111.43 biweekly mortgage with $612 strata fee, coming to just under $2,900 a month. So he makes roughly $70,000 a year. His partner working part-time, now that baby is here, makes about $40,000 a year. They're both in their mid-30s. So the first property has obviously skyrocketed, as everything has since 2015, with comparables for that condo selling for $700,000 to $750,000. So the question is, should the poster sell off his first home and pay off his second home outright? So their plan was to try and keep both properties and sell one off when they retired to boost their retirement funds. Great. And we're struggling to save anything now. Now, that's not totally true, so I'll get to that in the answer. They pay all their bills, groceries, etc., but don't have anything left for savings afterwards. With interest rates soaring, when we need to renew, it will be even worse. So some other info. First property is a 1-bed, 1-bath condo. Second property is a 3-bed, 2-bath. Also, the second property, so the one they currently live in, is a manufactured home, so a trailer. They don't own the land, just the trailer, so $612 a month covers the lot, renting the lot. So his worry is if they pay it off and the value plummets, with it being a manufactured home, you're going to lose a bunch of equity. So the area both their properties in is a top 5 ski destination worldwide, so real estate is highly sought after. Also meaning very easy to rent, because people will always want to live here and always need to live here to work in the tourism industry. So I don't know if they should sell the first property and live mortgage free in their second property and put any money in the TFSA and RSP, or struggle now to make retirement easy. So thanks in advance. Okay, so what this all boils down to is risk versus certainty, and so many questions are like that. But I think that the points that you've made here would point towards keeping both properties for the time being, which I know flies in the face of a realtor saying it's always a great time to sell. But what others have mentioned here is that the investment property has great cash flow. So that's one, and that's really important. The investment property currently has an excellent interest rate on the mortgage, which means your costs are lower. Both properties are in an area where desirability should be evergreen. Pun intended, if you're in a ski area. Principal residence is mobile, which doesn't tend to appreciate as much as well in terms of appreciation, which doesn't put to the value of holding it, but it does speak to maybe not paying it all off. So number one, take advantage of the cash flow and the low interest rate on your investment property, and reassess your needs closer to the renewal date for the investment. You're not putting any extra money aside. I know that's what you've said, but your equity is working for you in the meantime. It's working for you well in the investment property. Your equity should be growing if the values of the properties go up. So unless you can guarantee a similar income through other sort of investment or cost savings on paying your mortgage, you're still progressing financially, even if it may not feel like it. In the meantime, there's a few factors may change things in your favor or not. These are variable. So this is what I say, it's risk versus certainty. One or both of your incomes could change. The resale value of one or both of your properties could increase. Your current tenant might move on and you might re-rent at a higher rate. I mean, we've seen that in Ottawa, that rents have skyrocketed, and it's not unheard of for the same thing to happen across the country. Interest rates will likely change in a way that changes your cost equation. Now, the predictions for this year is that interest rates should come down a little bit. They're not going to come down to your 3.85%, I don't think, by the time your trailer renews. But that whole situation is going to be fluctuating. And if interest rates do come down, that generally puts an upward pressure on prices as buyers can afford more. So because you're in a desirable location, the value of your properties and rental rates are much more likely to increase than decrease. Now, what I said to your questions about risk versus certainty, I certainly understand the appeal of lessening risk by reducing the mortgage fees or getting mortgage free now. But keep in mind, it's not a question that you have to sell today or not sell until renewal or sometime after that. You can sell at any time if you feel that that's the right decision for you. So first of all, don't feel that you have to make a decision today. But second of all, just keep in mind that things are probably going to work in your favor. And if they look like they are not going to, you have time to pull out before anything gets out of hand for you, and you can remain mortgage free. However, once you sell that condo, it would be very hard to buy back in on an investment property. And that type of property is something that people like, if you can keep it for a long time, and it's going to continue to make money for you over time. Best thing you can do here is just build yourself a spreadsheet where you can adjust a few of those variables and look at run the different scenarios for yourself. So let me know what you decide. It is an interesting question, so thank you for posting that, and I hope that this answer was helpful in breaking some of the stuff down. A few people have said it a little bit more simply, so I wanted my answer here to kind of break down the different points and give you something that you can really take and stick on a spreadsheet. Take care, and we'll see you next week with another question.